Greetings, Jedi Traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 34, ending day 5, August 26, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only, to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan, and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, it was all about this week leading up today to the symposium and Janet Yellen and the other Fed speakers, which got our market going. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So let's take a look at our daily stats. We'll take a look at some of the charts and across the board some of the highlights. Ending our week off on some econ data. GDP weak but positive number, and a couple of others out there. Take a look at the big picture. When you take all the econ data for the week, what real picture do we have? And Janet Yellen coming up with a possible September rate hike, which sent our markets into a flurry, which gave us plenty of opportunity. Great amount of ticks today out there. One of the best days, one of the best weeks ever. There are the stats there. 3 markets, 6 setups for 902 ticks. Wow, what a day. But, you know, there were a lot more setups, and sometimes you just got to let those go and wait for the more controlled setup instead of the whip-saw action that we saw. So there's our numbers for the week. Nice way to finish off the week there. So there it was, typical picture here today. Let's just take a look at the ES with about 8 trends today, looking for the moves underneath the T350 here or above the T350. Again, you get this first... that was that first 45 minutes of trading. Once price action on the Yellen speaking was just all over the place. Finally slowing down a little bit here and catching one of the moves to the upside. And then that was it, waiting for the control move, and the market just sold off. But got a nice little bounce here towards the end. So finishing off to the upside. But overall trend still downside for the day. Taking a look at some of the setups here as we had on the NQ. Again, nice move, buy signal to the upside. Second bar, close 5 charts in the green, everything back upside, and deciding, hey, you know what, we got some nice price action on multiple contracts. Go ahead and just exit on the indecision, followed by the Heikin-Ashi bar, trend bar to the downside. That was good enough, and that was where we picked up our first major NQ run for 106 ticks. What a run on that first move upside. But really, it was a follow through in the afternoon on the YM, the ES, and the NQ, all to the downside, running multiple contracts. Actually missed that first move on the, as we saw here. Let me go back and show you. We'll take a look at the charts here. But missed trend number 4. It was trend number 5 that was able to jump in there. And so to the downside, saw an open gap that was there from previous session. And we'll see here in a little bit. See here in a little bit. And decided to front run the open gap, and sure enough, price action did run a little bit more, but that was a beautiful run. Why did I decide to stay in here? Well, with the way price action was moving today, it was worth the risk. Keep the stop at break even once price action ran, and just keep all contracts down to a formidable target, and that was it. Decided to call it a shot. Same picture here on the NQ. Caught the picture a little bit later, but again, nice move on the NQ to the downside all the way down. Missed the first initial move up top, but all the way down to the 4-hour 144 EMA. What a run, what a run. And then finally, price action here on the YM, as we could see, price action breaking underneath the T350 all the way down, another sell signal, not much of a pullback, and closing out at the open gap. That's right, take a look at the 3-2 here, 4-hour 144 EMA, and to the downside to the open gap. Good enough trades for me, and that's what will put us in the green for the day. All right, let's jump right into the charts. As we see here on the open gaps, again, multiple open gaps closed out today. Nice move on the YM, both upside and downside. Here we see now open gaps closed on the NQ. Big indecision candle here, doji candle. And take a look at the ES closing out the gap downside. And crude just tapping that gap upside at 48.38. So nice move to the upside. As far as fib projection levels today, did pretty good. Let's take a look at the fib levels, both upside and downside, all across the board, NQ, YM. So from fib projection levels, nice move all across. All right, let's jump into the daily charts. Let's take a look at some of the price action here. Again, crude moving somewhat with the market today as, again, that Yellen speech starting to come out. Price action started to move. A nice move to the upside on 5 charts in the green above the Globex high on all 5 charts. So best move, and followed by another move under the Globex high here in the afternoon session. Taking a look at the GC on the gold. Again, gold moving today in sync with the rest of the market. Look at that nice move to the downside. You got a sell signal here, but it's about waiting for as many charts in sync. So really here towards the latter part of the session, towards the European close, sell signal on the gold once underneath the T350. But again, it's about staying in trend. And again, when it comes to trend, you guys have your choices when it comes to studies. We've shown that throughout the week. It doesn't just have to be the HA bars. There's a variety of trend bars that can keep you in the trend as well. All right, taking a look at the ZN, also on the bonds here. Price action on the bonds to the downside. Nice move after all this whipsaw. Sell signal downside here, and eventually with all 5 charts of the green. Taking a look at the multiple time frame chart. There is the signal, sell signal downside. Again, you had to work through a little bit of resistance here, but really didn't seem to matter. Really just flowed right through. Finally, a little bit of pullback. This would have been probably my preferred entry. Again, just a piece of the pie, and then exit on the green upside. Again, all the rest of the charts in sync, giving you a 5 chart entry. That's what I'm talking about. All right, taking a look at the 3 indices as we do each day. Taking a look at the NQ. We just talked about that NQ move to the downside. There it was. Beautiful move as the sell signal down, 2 and 3 all the way down. And price action again choppy in the afternoon session. There was setup number 8 there of the session. I believe that was number 8. Price action to the upside once you had 5 charts in the green after an indecision bar. Finishing up around the Globex high, happened to be actually about today's open. So we really didn't go far much in the overall big picture for the day. But again, you can see what we're looking for. We're looking for our overall trend to be in sync with as many bars. Not looking for anything with 2 charts. Again, it makes for a nice scalp, maybe a possible entry. But again, either above or below the T350, and then as many charts in sync. So NQ, very nice move. At about this point, I pretty much gave it up for the session. Take a look at the YM here. Let's expand that chart here. Again, same picture like we just saw, giving a nice little trend here at the end with as many, about 2-3 charts in sync. Again, not a high probable entry as the market closed out the session. But again, there was that initial movement on the Yellen prepared speech there at the symposium. Again, a lot of whipsaw, decided to sit out a lot of this. And then finally, you got a little piece of YM here at the and towards the end for about a 38 tick move, and then to the downside, it was all downside, 338 tick move on the sell signal, little bounce back, and then entry underneath the T350, and just wrote it down. You can see not much of a pullback here to exit, and then finally all the way down to the open gap. That was enough. Remember that open gap we just showed you? Go back to the daily gap. There it was, 18,328 with a nice run down. Markets eventually stopped somewhere, and that was a significant line in this trader's handbook to exit at. Last one, taking a look at the ES here. Price action on the indices. Again, same picture to the downside. There it was, the sell signal. Again, we had a lot of chop in the on the Yellen testimony, or not testimony, but her speech. And then finally, sell signal to the downside, missing that first entry, but again, nice move on the second entries, and bang, right to the downside. All right, taking a look at our second screen share as we do each day. Taking a look at the EMD again, highlight move, EMD, the mid-cap 400. Again, nice move with at least 3 charts in the red, catching up to 5 charts. Maybe you missed the first entry. You entered underneath the Globex low here with 5 charts in the red. Great move. Great move on the 6E today. Euro was all downside again with the rest of the market. Can't complain. Nice long trending market. And then the yen, not very happy with the status quo there. Also deciding to sell off here with sell signals downside and price action with as many charts in sync. There you go. Let's widen this up for you here as we see sell signal here on 5 charts in the red. Write it down, Heikin-Ashi bars to keep you in the trend. And our last 3 charts, taking a look at the beans. Again, beans are rounding up the week, not as affected as much, but nice trending market here. This was yesterday's session, pretty quiet on the beans today. A nice little sell signal, and then the natty gas and the platinum as well. All right, taking a look ahead as we roll into next week. Price action again, big 2 doji bars again. Price action holding up on the 144 EMA here on the NQ. So nice move, find support here. 47.65. Again, a little concerning. YM and ES still downside underneath the T350. So what do I look for? Again, I can't tell you where we're headed next week. All I can tell you is, first of all, intraday pick. You're ready in both directions. You saw a nice move today. Price action's moving down. First line to look for is you look for the moving average on the 4-hour chart. We also look to the open gap. So let's go back to our open gap chart. And there it is, daily gap. So NQ, we got 47.46. So keep that in mind, 47.46 together with 47.65, which was hit today. So 47.46 is downside, and then we have a 50 EMA of 46.20. So those would be the first three lines that I would look for NQ to follow through to the downside. If we are to hold the current trend up, which we are, 50 is above the 144, but we are underneath the T350, I'll look for resistance here at the 50. I'll look for resistance here at the T350. If price action breaks above these two moving average, then I have a confirmed uptrend on the big picture in the market. But that doesn't affect in any way my intraday session, as I'm always looking for both directions. However, if I'm looking at an ETF, this would be a sign of continued trend after a pullback that signifies that I have a stronger probability of moving to the upside. Take a look at the YM. Again, YM confirmed to the downside in the red. Same here, picture on the ES to the downside. And until we break back upside, I have to go with the momentum right now strong to the downside. Again, we closed out open gaps, so we're looking to the 50 EMA, but we do have more daily gaps to the downside on the YM and the ES, as here 2136.75, and the next gap downside on the YM down here will be at 18.079. All right, taking and jumping over to the crude. Crude still holding above the 5,200. We're still in a strong uptrend, holding above the 50 and the T350. So I got to go with momentum still strong to the upside on the crude. However, gold and bonds downside as reject right there today. Up at the T350. Continued downtrend as we now hold in between the 50 and the 200 gap. Same there on the bonds. And also, nice movement on the charts in volume and especially on the indices as well. All right, taking a look at the last three. Here we see EMD Midcap 400 still holding upside. Again, a nice pullback here. Follows through with support at the 144, so I can see the follow through support to the upside if we can hold here. Otherwise, taking a look at the euro bouncing here at the 144, kind of playing a little support here. Again, if 6E next week follows through, we'll see the support not only at the 50 EMA, but we'll see the support off the 144, and nothing more than a pullback bounce. And then 6J, taking a look at the yen. Yen a little concerning here, but as price action breaks the 144, I'll look to the 50 MA as the next level down for support. But I got to go with the technical momentum. Still in a uptrend, but nice healthy pullback to the downside. All right, so that's where we stand. Daily big pick. Again, intraday is always ready in both directions. Daily gaps, we know where we sit on the major four here. Crude, again, you can take any daily chart, regular trading hours, look where the gaps are, label them, so you know that it's just, you know what, at the end of the day, it's just another level of concern. Daily POC, we look for points of control. We look to see that there was good movement on both sides of 70% of trading. A little weak on the ES on the downside, a little weak on the top on the YM, as well as the NQ, a little weak on the bottom. So we'll look for some repair there next week. Looking for Sunday, obviously follow through of today's price action and then Monday's market. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the market overall for next week economic-wise. This is our last week of the month as we roll into August. So end of the month, window dressing. We got Fed speakers up. Nothing particular with FOMC until the end of September there. So again, all eyes will be on that as the market still decides to play around at these highs, whether that Fed rate hike will come or not. And also we'll watch for any Red Star event during the week as well. Make sure you check out, as I'll go ahead this weekend, post the week 34 recap, which will give you a link to each daily video, chart of the week, as well as the weekly stats. And as we roll into September next week, we will be looking at the end of the month of starting an ETF portfolio and still expanding as we now look at more of the futures each day, looking at the other futures markets. All right, don't want to leave you empty-handed here. Made sure I went through everything. We went through daily gaps. We talked about fib levels, taking a look at each of the markets. So it seems we got a wrap. And as we head into next week, looking forward to some. Hey guys, today is a once in a while trading day. It's not like that every day. So big ticks today, one of the best trading days ever, followed by one of the best trading weeks ever. All you need is one big day and learning to stay and ride the trend. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend for end of the week 34. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com, any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra: one simple strategy. Any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs, and as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts, and as always, leave your buys at the door when trading. Till next week, have yourselves a Blue Zone weekend wherever you may be, whatever you may be doing. Good day, good night, and good trading to ya.